Well, aloha and welcome everybody. Welcome back to this week's session of the Healing Source. My name is Paul Fletcher and I'm very happy to be with you here today, and we're very close to wrapping up this series. In this series, we have been focusing on the 7 chakras, and I started out with the first speaking about how they are so connected to our health and wellness, which a lot of people truly do not understand. Hopefully by the end of this series, you will. I then gave 1 week dedication to each of the chakras, also known as soul houses, and I described the nature, power, and significance of each chakra and its connection to your health and wellness. And then over the last few weeks, I have been linking each one of these chakras together. Last week, we discussed what was called the Chi channel. Now, however you spell Chi is irrelevant, but the Chi channel goes up the central meridian of your body, up through the chakras 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it goes down the back of your body through a space called the Wai Jiao, all the way down to the base of your torso, and then back up through the 7 chakras. And in discussing this with everyone last week, I shared the importance of understanding the chakras' connectivity to each other, and how if one chakra has a blockage in it, then it can impede the flow of the chi through the whole body. I shared with you how we are animated by our source creator through the heavens frequency and vibration that comes through our crown, and how we are animated by the earth's frequency and vibration that comes through the base of our torso. And that healing, nourishing frequency and vibration has to go through this Chi channel, the 7 chakras, and then the back of the body. When our Chi channel is pure, clear, and uncluttered, then we have pure, clear, uncluttered energy. And this is the most important thing. A great deal of those of us in this human vessel lack energy. And when we run out of food, we run out of water, then we die. And yet, it has been stated, and it is true, although it may be hard to find people, there are people on this planet that do not eat and they do not drink, and they are still alive 60, 70, 80 years later. This has been documented by science on videos. So it is possible to survive and live just off of the life force energy of our Creator. And that life force energy is always permeating our vessel literally 100% of the time. There is never a moment it is not permeating our vessel, with the exception of when this physical body dies and becomes part of this earth again. And even then, our matter that becomes part of this earth again is still getting blessed by the heavenly frequencies. It's just not blessing the personality that you are today. So today we're going to move to the channel called the Jing channel, J-I-N-G, Jing. The Jing channel is also referred to as the Rejuvenation channel, and it borrows about half of the same pathway as the Chi channel, but it has an entirely different direction that it flows, and it has a different pathway in the back half of the body. So it serves an entirely different function and purpose. The Jing channel is the channel for youthing, becoming younger. Isn't that interesting? This is not something that is commonly talked about in a lot of the wisdom and the teachings that are out there. When you hear about rejuvenation and getting younger, somebody will put some kind of a magical mystery liquid or cream or something in front of you and try to convince you that it will reverse your aging. And the chances of that are relatively slim. It might help the exterior part of your skin look a little different, but it certainly doesn't change the interior of you. Now, in some of the wisdom and teachings that my teacher, Dr. and Master Sha, has brought to humanity, he does share about internal youth and external youth. And he shares that internal youthing begins at the cellular level. And he shares that when we raise our personal frequency and vibration to a much higher level than it currently is, then the body's cellular structure, the matter of the body, has to match the energy and frequency, because frequency precedes matter. Energy precedes matter. For those of you that are just listening to the very first time, you may want to go back to the first few in my series of podcasts when I teach you the basic foundation of Shen, Qi, and Jing. And real briefly, I'll remind you here. Shen stands for soul, heart, mind. So the soul is the carrier of all positive and negative vibration you've ever carried in all lifetimes. Every positive thought, word, and action you've ever offered to anybody remains with your soul's vibration. Equally true, every negative thought, word, and action you've ever had in all lifetimes remains on your vibration. And these two bring into your current world experience that which you're presently experiencing. So if you are happy and healthy, financially sound, in a perfect relationship, business is prospering, there is not a thing going on in your world that you are not thrilled with, then congratulations. It's highly likely that you're a very good soul in many, many lifetimes, because there's nothing on your vibration that can contribute to negativity in your life. If, on the other hand, maybe half of those are true, on the other half you're suffering, well, then the half you're suffering on, there is a correlation to having provided negative thoughts, words, or actions to others that in most cases have created for them the same kind of suffering you are currently experiencing. Good example, if you're experiencing financial woes, it's highly likely in this or previous time you or your ancestors harmed people's abilities to flourish financially, and so forth. So with that as the baseline, one can easily understand that we want to have a pure vessel as possible, as free as many negative pieces of information as we possibly can. We want to be aligned to the source as much as we can. And Master Sha has taught us that one of the fastest ways to accomplish that is to, of course, think positively, be careful with your words, only bring positive words to the communication. Of course, do not harm others with your actions. So that then stops the inflow of negativity and starts the uptake of positive messages, information, and matter, which then, of course, will affect your finances, your wealth, and everything else. And along with that, he shares that all of that negative and positive information collects in our spaces of our body. The chakras reside in the spaces of our body. Also, just a few weeks ago, I taught you about the lower, middle, and upper jowls of the body. If you missed these, if these are new information to you, go back and watch the previous podcast just in this series alone, okay? And because the positive and negative vibration resides in our spaces, those thoughts, words, and actions, we want to clear the spaces as consistent as often as possible. Therefore, chanting the mantra associated with the Qi channel last week and the Jing channel this week accomplishes exactly that. To remind you, last week we offered a mantra. Let me bring it up here. And the mantra for the Qi channel, I think, here we go, was Hei Hung Hong A Shi Yi Wong Yo. Hei was the sound power for the first chakra, Hung the second chakra, and so forth. And Yo, after the seventh chakra, Wang, after we said Wang, then Yo was the entire back of the body. So as a reminder to you on how it sounded, Hei Hung Hong A Shi Wong yo. Hey hung hong a shi wong yo. Isn't that beautiful? And I do recommend you go and purchase the music that Master Sha has created for this specific mantra. It's quite beautiful, very, very well orchestrated, and just really, I could just listen to it all day. It's just so mesmerizing and uplifting. Now, the Jing channel is an entirely different channel. The Jing channel is the matter channel. It is the rejuvenation channel. And yes, it does include these 7 chakras, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the sound powers for those 7 chakras remain the same. However, one major difference is that when we chant for the Jing channel, the light goes a completely different direction, opposite direction, and it does not follow the same pathway. The Qi channel goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down the back of the body, along the spine, all the way to the base of the torso, and then repeats. Hey hung hung a shi yi wong yo. Hey hung hung a shi yi wong yo. The Jing channel starts at the base of the torso, and it goes up to 2 invisible holes in the base of the spine. So what does that mean, invisible? That means that modern science can't see it. Can modern science see the energy meridians? No. But they have finally validated it with insurance. And the reason why they started paying with insurance is not because it worked, no. It was because there was a doctor that was able to actually track the pathways of the energy meridian using modern medical device. This is where it began, this is where it ends. I can track it. Therefore, what they've been saying for 5,000 years in traditional Chinese medicine, that there are energy meridians, which of course they've known for 5,000 years, but it wasn't true until modern science could measure it. Just goes to show you how difficult science can be sometimes. It always follows spirituality. So there are 2 invisible holes, and maybe at some point in the future science will be able to see that, but they're there. And the Qi goes up these 2 invisible holes in your spinal cord, up the back of the spinal cord, up top of the head, and then back down through the chakras, 7, 6, 5, 3, 4, 2, 1, and then it repeats up those 2 invisible holes. So this is an entirely different direction, and it is not the same pathway, with the exception of it going through the chakras, but it is going down through the chakras, not up through the chakras. Okay? Big difference. So this direction or flow of the Qi has the end result of rejuvenation of your body. So how then do we practice with this? Well, we chant the mantra that goes with it. The mantra is yo. Yo, remember, is the back of the body. Yo. And then you go to the crown chakra. Wang yi shi a hong hung hey. Yo. Wang yi shi a hong hung hey. So this is the mantra that we're going to jump into very shortly here. Give ourselves a nice big boost. Okay? So why is it important to understand the Jing channel? What is the power and significance of it? Well, as we've discussed, it directly affects your rejuvenation. But what does that mean? That means that it is reversing your creation process. That means it is youthing you. Master Sha, in his advanced wisdom and teachings, he has 3 books now, Tao 1, Tao 2, and the Tao 3, and in each one of those, he refers to the word immortality. And he openly shares, he says, when the source, when God told me I needed to write a book on these things, he said, I'll do whatever you ask, but shouldn't we wait till I'm 100, before I start writing about immortality? And the source said, that's not what is meant by immortality, and that's also why you need to write it. And then the source borrowed Master Sha's mouth. Master Sha, of course, his English is not near as good as probably yours and mine, and he just receives the words, speaks them out, and Master Cynthia types them and creates a book. He usually speaks it out in a period of just 4 or 5 days, maybe a week, and an entire 300-page book is then ready to go. And I've seen him read his own books, and he'll have to look at one of his teachers and say, what does that word mean? Because when he's receiving the message and speaking it out, he might not even know what the word means. That goes to show you the high level of purity of the information that is being received from the source. So he received these channels and these mantras. Each one of these sounds are unique to the Tao wisdom and teachings that we're sharing with you. Some of them, yes, are repeated and have been known, but the information associated with them, in this case, rejuvenation and reverse creation, those all go into some of his higher wisdom teachings, where he speaks about the creation of all life in all universes, and how all universes go through what might be termed a reincarnation cycle, where all universes go from darkness to light and back to darkness and back to light and neutral and so forth. And in that fluctuation, there is what's called reverse creation. That would be going from darkness to light, reverse creation. So literally, as a universe, we are moving in that direction as we speak, going from darkness to light. Humanity is going from darkness to light. Individually, we are going from darkness to light, and we can facilitate a much faster occurrence of that transformation by chanting this mantra. So let's do that together, shall we? So here's your mantra. I invite you to close your eyes and just chant along with me, okay? And if you must, then just open one eye and look at it and go back to closing your eyes and try to memorize these tones, these sounds, because they are repeated over and over. And each time you're able to bring more focus to your inner body, then you are empowering that chakra, you are empowering that soul house. So let's start by connecting, and we will use the 4-power technique. I invite you to repeat after me. And dear the soul of my Jing channel, you have the ability to rejuvenate me, to help me to become younger, happier, and healthier. You have the ability to receive the healing frequencies and vibrations of this chanting and mantra. Do a great job. Thank you. That's called soul communication, inner souls. Now we'll communicate with the outer souls. Dear God, outer soul. Dear all the beloved beings of love and light. All of the light balls and healing transmissions I have received. Assuming you've received some, you activate them. Could you please turn on? I love you. Could you please bless this practice today to heal and rejuvenate my body as I chant this rejuvenation channel? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. So now, where do you place your hands? Okay, you can place your hands, one palm facing your first chakra, the other palm just over your belly button. Okay, and you see the light going up your up your 2 invisible holes in the spinal cord, coming up over the top of your head, down to the center of your channel, and then starting again. Close your eyes and chant with me. Yo Wang Yi Shi Er Hong Hong Hey. 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 yo. Remember, yo goes up the back. Yo, Wang Yi Shi Er Hong Hung Hey. Hey is first chakra. Yo, Wang Yi Shi Er Hong Hung Hey. Yo, Wang Yi Shi A Hong Hung Hey. So as you can tell, it is a different mantra, and it might be a little more difficult for you to grasp it, especially if you're new. It's one of those mantras that you want to ingrain as a part of your daily practice. You're walking your dog outside, you're just going for a walk. Yo, Wang Yi Shi A Hong Hong Hey. Yo, Wang Yi Shi Er Hong Hong Hey. Yo, Wang Yi Shi A Hong Hong Hey. Yo, Wang Yi Shi Er Hong Hong Hey. And then you do what we learned last week, right? You chant for the mantra for the Qi channel. Hey hung hong a shi yi wong yo. Going up the channel. Hey hung hong a shi yi wong yo. Down the back. Hey hung hong a shi yi wong yo. Hey hung hong a shi yi wong yo. And now let's reverse and go back to the Jing channel. Sorry. And need to make sure I'm scrolling in the right direction. Here we go. Up the back. Yo, Wang Yi Shi Er Hong Hong Hey. Yo, Wang Yi Shi Er Hong Hong Hey. Yo, Wang Yi Shi A Hong Hong Hey. Yo, Wang Yi Shi A Hong Hong Hey. Again. Yo, Wang Yi Shi A Hong Hong Hey. 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 So as you can tell, they serve a different purpose. Hey hung hung ah shi wong yo is all about energy. Hey hung hung ah shi wong yo. Hey hung hung ah shi wong yo. You can just feel the energy. Bum 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 bum. And then the yo wong yi shi ah hong hung hey. This is more about winding down, going within, rewinding, unwinding lifetimes of stuff. Okay? So, because I taught the majority of this channel last week, not this channel, but the chakras and the sound powers and all that last week, today we're going to end about 5 minutes earlier than I might normally end. But next week will be the last in this series, and I will be talking to you about the Shen channel, S-H-E-N. And that's going to be exciting because that was actually a newer piece of information that was revealed just a few years ago. It wasn't anything that was commonly known out there. And with Master Sha, one of the great attributes of this teacher is that he reveals very high-level wisdom and insights that, to be perfectly honest, most masters do not reveal until such time as they get ready to pass on, and then they'll pass on those higher level wisdoms to their student, their one student. But this teacher is very benevolent. He wants to pass on this wisdom to as many souls as possible so that future generations can live more in love and light. Okay? So, if you are unfamiliar with anything that's been shared here today, come to my website, wellspringoflight.com. And on there I have all kinds of new person information. What is the soul and how does it work? I've got a course on how to apply this wisdom for relationships. I've got free things I offer. I've got a free 5 days in my healing field program where you can experience what it's like to be in a healing field with these calligraphies behind me and how they can assist you to transform your suffering. And of course there are private consultations if you need some more one-on-one healing or guidance. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you next week when we cover the Shen channel. We wrap up this series. And until then, everybody, have an awesome day. Bye-bye.